Hello, I'm Corinne from CorinneWorsley.com, and in today's video we are going to talk all about what to do when you get tired of your own bullshit. So apologies for the profanity at the beginning of this video, but it really is the best way to describe what so many of us are dealing with on a weekly and a daily basis. It is not so much the issues of other people that bog us down, but it's our own issues. It is our own bullshit. So what can we do to move past this? Now, it's Elizabeth Gilbert who says something along the lines of, there comes a day when all of us get tired of our own bullshit. And I don't know about you, but I have certainly had many days when I've just got so tired of the things that are keeping me stuck in the same old ruts, day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year. Now, doesn't mean to say that I'm always able to move myself out of that rut instantly, but there are a few things that we can look at that can help us to really start moving forward and to leave that bullshit behind us. So what can we do? First things first, and that is to look at the choices that you are making in life. Ultimately, in every moment, we get to choose how we behave, how we think, how we react, what we're going to do, what we're not going to do. And it's these choices, even the minuscule choices that we make, that really have an impact on our overall life quality. So take a moment, or maybe longer than a moment, think about all the different areas of your life. Think about your health and well-being. Think about your wealth. Think about your family relationships. Think about your romantic and intimate relationships. Think about your work and your purpose. Think about joy and fun. Think about all these different areas of your life and just do a quick assessment of how well are they actually going for you at the moment. Now, if you've got a few areas of life that really are not going so well, then I would invite you to think about, what choices am I making in that area of my life? So let's take health and well-being, for instance, because it's such an easy one to look at examples in. So are you constantly bemoaning the fact that you want to be fitter, you want to be feeling leaner and fitting back into the clothes that you used to be able to fit into, or you just want to get your energy back to the place that it used to be at? And I definitely would put myself in that category. It's been a good few years that I've been bemoaning my lack of fitness and not feeling as energetic as I used to feel. So if that resonates with you, or even if it doesn't, let's take this just as an example. What choices are we making in those areas? Are we choosing to just spend that extra hour in bed instead of getting up, going for a walk, doing some yoga, getting our bodies moving in the morning? Are we choosing to buy really quick, easy, ready meals instead of taking the time to think about what we're going to eat, to plan our food, and to make sure that we allocate time for making healthy meals? So just take a look at your choices, maybe in that area, maybe in another area, and see how they may well be supporting your bullshit. Now, we can dig deeper into why we find it so hard to move past our bullshit. We're all going to have some funky beliefs underneath the fact that we're staying stuck. But for now, let's just have a look at the surface level. What choices are you making, and what different choices could you make that would really move the needle for you in the areas of your life where things are not going so well? Secondly, let's talk about I can't versus I won't. So There have been a few posts around recently about this idea of when we say I can't, very, very often, what it means really is I won't. So, for instance, again, let me take myself. If I say I just can't get up at 6 a.m. in the morning. Now, how true actually is that? Physically, I could get myself up and out of my bed at 6 a.m. Physically, it is possible for me to do that. And yes, I've had some issues with adrenal fatigue, but now I know if I've got something that I'm really looking forward to doing, a really exciting day ahead of me, I can get myself out of bed at 6 a.m. So really what I'm saying is I won't get up at 6 a.m. When I roll over and press that snooze button on my alarm, what I'm saying is I won't get up at 6 a.m. So just have a think about the areas where you are saying I can't, and whether actually the truth is that it's an I won't. And again, if you're anything like me, switching that around and saying I won't feels quite uncomfortable. I really feel like, oh my God, I'm letting myself down here. But also it empowers me to some degree because it gives me back my power. So rather than saying I can't, which is very much that I have no control over it, it's not within my power to change this. When I look at the idea and I switch it around and say, actually, it's an I won't, then I know that I now have the option to say, do you know what, I can and I will. And that's it's a much more empowering place to be coming from when we're looking at making changes in our lives. So there are going to be so many things in your life where you can change your story from an I can't to an I won't to an I can and an I will. So just have a look at the places where you are saying I can't and just see how thinking about it slightly differently, looking at it really honestly, is going to make such a huge difference in your life. And then let's move on to this idea of I don't have time. So this is the third thing. Now again, something I find myself saying all too frequently is I don't have time. And literally in my mind, I need another 24 hours in each day in order to do everything that I've got to do. Now, there may be some truth in that, in which case I need to change the way that I'm living and the way that I'm trying to do things, because none of us has 96 hours in a day or even 48 hours in a day. We, to a certain degree, do have to get realistic about the fact that there are 24 hours in a day, and we can only do so much in that 24 hours, especially as we should be sleeping for 8 out of those hours. And I think part of our culture is go, 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 and we have to do everything right now, this minute. But the thing is, most of us are fortunate enough not to have been given a terminal diagnosis where we've only got a couple of months left to live. So we do have time to get all of these things done. However, having said that, quite often when we are saying I don't have time, what we really mean is I don't want to do it, or it's not a priority for me. Now again, as with the I can't and the I won't, have a think about how that feels energetically if we switch I don't have time to I don't want to do it, or it's not a priority for me. And it's absolutely fine if something is not a priority for you, and actually switching that around, it just brings a little bit more ease into what you're spending your time on and what you're not spending your time on. If you can be really honest and say this is not a priority for me, then it kind of lifts that from your plate, it takes a weight off your shoulders, and you can focus on what your priorities are. So again, take a look at the areas of your life where you find yourself saying, I don't have time on a regular basis, and then have a look at whether actually the things that you're saying you don't have time for just aren't your priority. And if they're not your priority, then put them to the bottom of the pile as nice to haves rather than being on your list and draining your energy. Now, there may well be some things that you're saying I don't have time for that are actually a priority. So again, if we come back to the health and fitness and the well-being example, I will find myself quite often having really good intentions about doing a yoga class, a Pilates class, a couple of workouts, a horse riding lesson each week. But certain things, mainly the yoga and the working out, tend to fall by the wayside. Now, this is not a case of I don't have time. This is a case of not prioritizing. So not that it's not a priority, but that I'm not prioritizing. So if I look, for instance, at my horse riding lessons, they are scheduled. They are in my schedule and nothing budges them. So if somebody says to me, can you do XYZ on Friday morning? I'll say, no, I can't, because I'm busy, because I'm horse riding. And what I've realized is that the same thing needs to happen with my Pilates, my yoga, and my working out. They need to be in the diary, scheduled, just like my horse riding lessons, just like a meeting with somebody. They need to be in there as non-negotiable, scheduled items. So again, have a look at your calendar, at your to-do list, at the things that you are saying you don't have time for. If they keep slipping off your weekly schedule and you're just not getting round to them, then maybe it's time to schedule them. Maybe it's time to really make them non-negotiable and set some really clear boundaries around the fact that these are things that you must do, that you really want to do. You've got to make the time for them and make them a priority and put them in your schedule. And I think when it comes to our energy and our health, it feels quite often when we've got so much on our plate, so much to do, that to take time out to go to the gym, do a Pilates class, plan our meals, cook something from scratch, that this is time wasted. When in fact, it's actually not. It's actually not time wasted, because when we are feeling energetic, when we're taking really great care of ourselves, when we're getting plenty of sleep, it makes us more efficient. It makes our brains more efficient, and we have the energy to get through much more in our days, much more quickly, and things don't faze us as much as they do when we're lacking energy. So actually, to take the time to do the things that give us energy is absolutely vitally important. So these things need to be in our schedules so that we can manage to do and achieve everything that we want to achieve in life. So I hope this video has been useful for you. Let's do a quick recap of the things that I've covered. So first of all, what are the choices that you're making, especially in the areas of life that aren't going so well for you, and have a look at what you could be doing differently, the different choices you could be making. Where are you saying I can't? And where could you switch that I can't into an I won't, which becomes an I can, which then becomes an I will? And where are you saying I don't have time, when in fact what you mean is that's not a priority for me? If things aren't a priority, own it. Be honest about it. Take them off your list, no matter what anybody else thinks or says. If things are a priority, but you're still not managing to fit them in, then get really strict about your schedule. Put them in your schedule like they're a meeting, like they are any other thing that you wouldn't miss, that you wouldn't just knock off your schedule. And take really great care of your energy, because taking great care of your energy is what's going to enable you to accomplish many things each day, each week, each month, if that's what you want to be doing. And taking the time to look after yourself and look after your energy is actually going to pay back. You're going to get a really good payback from the time that you spend working on your energy. So take all of that away, apply what works for you and ignore the rest. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments if this is something that has resonated with you. And as always, if you feel you need some help in this area of your life, if you feel that you're just swamped and you need someone to help you sort through the priorities and the things that aren't priorities, or you just need some help in figuring out how to get your life back on track, I am your woman. I work with professional women to give them clarity and confidence in their lives and to help them cultivate amazing energy so they can live lives of fulfillment. And so please do get in touch with me if that sounds like something you would like to have in your life. You can send me a message to corinne@corinneworsley.com. You can contact me via my website www.corinneworsley.com/contact, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram under @CorinneWorsley Life Coach on Facebook or Corinne Worsley on Instagram, and also you can find me on LinkedIn as well. So I am everywhere. So please, please, please do reach out if you feel like you need some help. So that's it for this video, and I very much look forward to speaking to you again and coming to you with some more inspiration in the very near future. Bye for now.